What's up, family? Man, I want to continue our series on the 12 laws of the universe. Today, we're going to talk about the third law, and it's a very crucial law. It's the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence. And the trip is if you've really paid attention to the videos that I've put out, um, man, a lot of them, probably the great majority of them, go back to the 12 laws of the universe. I don't talk about the 12 laws of the universe, but if you listen to the videos, the great majority of them correspond to one of the 12 laws of the universe. You'll see that as we continue the series. Law of correspondence, as above, so below. What are we talking about? The ability to tap into our greater good, the ability to tap into who we really are, the ability to go within to that inner child, the ability to tap into our soul, the law of correspondence. It's the mirror image. What am I talking about? Stay with me. This is going to get deep, okay? It's going to get profound too. Um, what you see on the outside, it's what's on the inside. It's the projection. It's like being at a movie theater and looking up on this big screen and sitting there and watching a movie. And all that big ass movie has been projected from a projector. How you see the world is what's going on inside of you. If you see the world as chaotic and twisted and man, it's just all messed up and it's all bad and blah, 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 and people are so evil and violent and da, 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 that's what's going on inside of you. You may not be aware of it. You may not understand. That's your subconsciousness. You may not understand. That's the struggle within you. You see what's inside of you. But here's the trip. You don't realize it's inside of you. I'm saying a different way. And I've talked about this a lot. So many of us, I grew up, put it this way, I grew up in a toxic ass household. It was a Christian household, but it was toxic as fuck. It was a quote unquote God fearing household, but it was toxic as fuck. It was negative as fuck. I learned as a kid to go and look for love. I learned as a kid, man, I needed to be accepted. I wanted to be accepted. And oftentimes when you look at little kids, we'll do things. We'll draw pictures and paintings and do all this other stuff. And we give it to the parents, we give it to the person that's in charge of us. And we want their affirmations. We want their praise. And when we don't get it, it's like, okay, I can't do that no more. When we get in trouble, it's like, okay, I can't do that no more. I don't want mommy and daddy mad at me. I don't want grandma mad at me. And so we start learning how to do things. We start learning how to be so that we could get their attention, so that we could get their praise, so that we could get their acceptance, so that we could get their love. I'm just laying the foundation. It's going to get deep. I promise you that. And so as these little kids, we start doing all these things. We learn as learned behavior to seek for love. It's learned behavior to seek for acceptance, to seek for affirmations, to seek, am I good enough? Am I worthy? It's learned behavior. And so we grow up looking for love, looking to be accepted. And some of us, those of us that have, the ability to see spirits and different things of that nature, and to be able to communicate with these types of entities. We learn that that's not good, that's not normal. Don't do that. People are going to think you're crazy. You ain't talking to nobody. You ain't got no imaginary friend. That's what they called it. But the reality was these were different spirits, different entities that we were entertaining, that was entertaining us, that was communicating with us. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. But we learned to stop doing that. We learned to shut down that ability. Why? Because we needed to be accepted. We wanted to be accepted. We didn't want to be seen as different, as weird, as crazy. And so we shut down those gifts. We shut down that ability. And we grow up. And all the things that we go out looking for, acceptance, love, value, self-worth, all these other things. We're looking for this from other people. We grow up and we're looking for this in our relationships. We're looking for all these things in our friendships. And what God had to show me through the long process was Elijah. Everything that you're looking for, there's a reason why you're looking for it. You're looking for self-worth, Elijah. Why? You're looking for acceptance, Elijah. Why? You're looking to have your voice heard. Why? You're looking for love. Why? And it was easy for me to sit back and say, oh, I'm looking for that because my daddy ain't shit. My daddy killed my mama. My mama died when I was 2. This raggedy ass motherfucker that you put me in her household. Man, my aunt was cruel and verbally abusive and emotionally abusive and physically abusive and da. And I could go down the list of pointing the fingers at other people as to why I'm looking for these things. And it sounds good. It sounds, man, I've done my shadow work. And it goes back to my daddy being abusive. It goes back to my toxic ass household that I was raised in, that fucked up ass religion. And I can go, man, I've done my shadow work. And we get so fucking deep and so fucking woke. And we're blaming other people. And what God had to show me is, nah, motherfucker, it ain't them. It's you. I'm like, hold up, I'm the victim in this, God. It's like, no, there are no fucking victims. There are no fucking victims. You're looking for all these things from all these people, Elijah. Why? Because you've done this to the little kid within you. You've abandoned the little kid within you. You've ignored and rejected the little kid within you. When the little kid cried out for help, you ignored his ass. He was voiceless. When the little boy inside of you, Elijah, longed for your attention, longed for your love and your support thing and your all this other stuff from you, then you ignored him, Elijah. You rejected the little boy inside of you. You constantly told yourself that you wasn't shit. We're going there today. We're going there. And so what God had to show me is as above, so below. As within, so without. The little kid is crying out for love, for attention, for self-worth, for value. The little boy inside of you is screaming, here I am. I've never dogged you, Elijah. I've never abandoned you, Elijah. I've never betrayed you, Elijah. I've never rejected you, Elijah. I've always tried to be there for you. I've always given you good counsel, and you turned your back on me every chance you could. Why? To be accepted by them raggedy raggedy ass motherfuckers out there. We're going there today. We're going there. The law of correspondence. As within, so without. So Elijah, your world is chaotic. Elijah, your world is dark and fucked up. Elijah, your world is a world of fear, insecurity, abandonment, rejection. Elijah, why is your world so fucked up? I'm asking each and every one of you, why is your world so fucked up? Why do you feel so fucking alone? Why do you feel so fucking abandoned and unwanted and rejected? Why do you feel so hurt? Why do you feel like your voice don't matter? Because if you study law of correspondence, the law of correspondence say your voice don't matter because the little voice inside of you don't matter. You feel unwanted, unloved, and rejected and abandoned and woo-doo-doo. Why? Because you made that little kid inside of you feel the exact same motherfucking way. I'm going there. All the people on the outside, everybody that's hurt you, your woman that's just dogged you the fuck out, your dude that's just betrayed you. Oh, they showing you what you've done to your motherfucking self. They're showing you what you've done to that little princess inside of you. They're showing you what you've done to that king inside of you. It's a trip. Jesus talked about how we treat the little kids. How we treat the little kids. He talked a lot about that. And the trip is we've never corresponded that. We never made that connection. We've talked about all the other little abandoned and rejected orphans and kids that, little Trump snatchers running around on the planet. But we never made that correlation to how we treat the little kid inside of us. Why are we so quick and easy to tear ourselves down? Talking about the little kid inside of us. Why are we so quick and easy to turn our back to them, to ignore them? See, many of us, most of us, we've never even reconnected. We've never even had a conversation as an adult with that little child within us. We're so busy listening to this toxic ass, fucked up ass, raggedy ass music. We're so busy paying attention to these raggedy ass politicians and these sorry ass ministers and everybody else that's entertaining us. We ain't even got time to reconnect with that little kid inside of us. We don't even have the time to correspond with that kid inside of us. We've never asked that little kid inside of us to forgive us for abandoning them, to forgive us for rejecting them, to forgive us for ignoring them, to forgive us for dismissing them, for invalidating them. But then when somebody does it to us, oh, we got our feelings hurt and we all up in our fucking emotions and we can't take it and we suicidal and we're depressed and we're angry and we're toxic and we're bitter and all this other fucking shit. But we've been doing this shit from the beginning to the little kid inside of us. And we think we're supposed to get it. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Just because you don't realize and you haven't realized that you haven't been doing the same fucking thing to the little kid inside of you. Don't give you a fucking pass. You don't get no free passes in this world. The law of karma. You reap what you sow. And we sit back in our self-righteous ass attitude. I've never cheated on nobody. I would have never done that motherfucking Negro like that. I would have never done that wench like that. And this bitch, but you done it to the little kid inside of you over and over and over. And you're ready to fight and kill somebody for doing the same thing to you that you've done to the little kid inside of you. I know that's hard to hear. I know that's hard to accept. You get mad at motherfuckers for cheating on you, and you've been cheating on your little kid, on the little kid inside of you. You get mad and pissed at motherfuckers for lying to you, and for invalidating you, and for dismissing you and treating you like you ain't shit. Like you ain't worthy of their fucking time. And yet, you do it to yourself. You do it to the little child inside of you. You get offended when motherfuckers act like your ass don't even matter. You get offended when you text motherfuckers and motherfuckers don't text your ass back. You get pissed. Oh, I'm cutting their ass off. I got healthy boundaries. And if that bitch can't call me back, and if that motherfucker can't call me back, I'm cutting their raggedy ass off. But how many times has that little kid cried out to you? How many times has that little kid inside of you screamed and cried and threw up their motherfucking hands? Here I am. Here am I. Here am I. Elijah, come talk to me. Sarah, come talk to me. Betty, come hang out with me. Simon, what's up? Let's go hang out. Let's talk. Let's converse. How many times has that little kid reached out to you? And you brushed their ass off like they wasn't shit. You completely ignored them. Out of sight, out of mind. We stay so distracted with the bullshit. Many of you, here's the fucked up part. The whole thing is fucked up, but here's the real fucked up part. Many of you, you know more about Jay-Z and Beyonce, P. Diddy, Puff Diddy, whatever his fucking name is, him, Snoop. You know more about these people than you do about the little kid inside of you. Y'all know more about Rihanna and Taylor Swift and whoever else is out there. I don't keep up with the bullshit, but whoever the fuck else is out there, you keep up with their fucking life. You know more about their life than you do the little kid inside of you. And that little person inside of you has been with you from day one. That little person inside of you has seen and heard and felt everything your ass has. And that motherfucker has unconditional love. You want to know what unconditional love is? It's learning how to go back in and look at the little kid inside of you. All the bullshit you've done, all the crazy shit you thought and felt. They thought, they felt, they seen, and they still love you. They still want a relationship with you. They still want you to come get connected with them. They still want you to come get back realigned with me. Come conversate with me. This is what it really means when we talk about real growth and development. This is what it really means when we talk about doing inner work, when we talk about doing shadow work. You can't do shadow work without healing the little kid inside of you. You can't get reconnected. You can't get aligned with God without getting aligned with that little kid inside of you. You can't be deep and in love with God and not be connected to the little kid inside of you. We have to grow up. And we have to understand what we see externally Is God, source, the universe's way of trying to get us whole. Time out, time out, time out. However you feel, whatever you see, as far as the chaos and the drama and the trauma or the beauty and the love, they're trying to get you to see that, man, that's what's going on inside of me. I see what I see. I feel what I feel because that's what's going on inside of me. This world that I see and that I feel is a projection of the inner world. It's a projection of my inner world. That's why two people can look at the same fucking thing and see something totally different. They can look at the same thing and feel something totally different. Why? Because it's a projection of what's going on in their world internally. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. The law of correspondence. As above, so below. As above, so below. You can't see it. I have my hand on my guts. That's where the inner child dwells at. That's where God dwells at. That's where we get our intuition from. That's where God communicates with us. As above, so below. My emotions are fucked up. My emotions are scattered and crazy and twisted all over the place. I got pulled in all these different directions, and man, I got so much going on, and I can't handle it. Because that's what's going on internally. That's what's going on internally. The law of correspondence. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Just because you didn't know that there was a little kid inside of you, just because you didn't know that there was a little boy, a little girl inside of you, doesn't mean that there wasn't one or that there isn't one. And one of the first times that I really got into this understanding, I started really delving into this. It was back probably 2013, 2014. I took my wife at the time to Disneyland, and we're out there, and it's one of the first times she's been there. 40 something years old. She hadn't been to Disneyland. And so we're there, and we're doing all the rides, and we're playing all the games, and I'm watching her, and she's just glowing. She's getting on, we're on the bumper car, I'm not bumper cars, we're on the log ride going down, getting soaked and wet. And she's just having a blast. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. She's living it up. Going for the night, and we're there at the night, and they're doing all the fireworks. They're doing all the shows, the light shows. And I'm standing behind her and I'm holding her. And I look around. I see the tears running down her eyes. And her face is just lit up. She's smiling. She's glowing. And I'm smiling to myself. It's like, what the fuck? I've never seen this smile before. I've never seen this glow before. See, women glow when you have sex, when you have babies and all this other stuff. But when you reconnect with that inner kid, it's a different type of glow. It's a radiant glow. It's a beautiful thing. And so I'm standing there and I've never seen this glow before. And I'm holding her and I'm smiling to myself. And I start teasing her. I said, "You crying? I thought you was a thug. The fuck you crying for?" Just being an ass, so I know it. And she's like, "I ain't crying," trying to play it off, right? And I said, "It's okay." And I'm holding her, my hands around her waist, holding her to me. And I said, "It's okay." I said, "I love it. It's beautiful. I'm glad that you finally reconnected with the little girl inside of you. This whole day was about you reconnecting with the little girl inside of you. A lot of people live their whole life, their entire life, and they never have this moment. I'm glad that I was able to participate in this moment with you. I'm glad that I was able to be here and observe this moment for you. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you for allowing me to share in this moment with you." And tears are running down her eyes. And that's when it hit me crystal clear. The value, the importance of reconnecting with that little kid. We spend our whole lives trying to be hard and trying to be tough so that we don't get hurt again. When somebody betrays, it's all right. I got myself. Fuck the world. I don't need nobody. I'm so fucking independent. Then we totally dismiss and invalidate the little kid inside of us. We disconnect from that little kid through no fault of their own. They've never done anything wrong to us. And we disconnect from them. And the trip is, they spent so much time trying to get our attention. They spent all of this time trying to get our attention. And we blew them off. We dismissed them. Through our actions, we've shown them that they wasn't shit. Through our actions, we've shown them that they wasn't worthy of our attention, of our love. Man, the law of correspondence. I hope and pray that I've said something to encourage you, to inspire you, to challenge your way of thinking. We have to grow up. Namaste. The God in me sees, recognizes, acknowledges, and cherishes the